we'll see where this matchup goes. It's going to be the Lee Sin jungle, as expected, because his solo laning has been nerfed quite significantly. Gwen going to be on the top side of the map, and I think that means that as T1, you're pretty happy to play Lucian into this. You have range there. You have a Viego for extra support too, so if Gwen decides to trade aggressively, you can punish that. Really gets an edge in this draft. It's just going to be one of those games where execution is everything. But it does feel like T1 have so much more agency on the map because they have this top prio and they have this. On the top side of the map, this is a very early potential gank here for Owner. He wants to steal some of these camps away, steal these Krugs.
Yeah, he's not
so
scared.
Strong early.
Yeah, he's like, okay, Kraka, you want to go? The Smite comes in. This is just a straight up one-on-one, and Owner is not winning it.
He doesn't have Smite anymore.
Yeah, he doesn't have Smite, but the flash comes in, and there's going to be first blood over to the Viego of all people. As now the top laners are fighting, and the teleport will have to come in from Faker to try to save this. Will he get there on time? The taunt comes in, and the knockup will be enough as the ward and the teleport is enough to make T1 win the fight.
Oh, I don't know about this one, Fate. He's going for the flash, though, and he gets him.
Okay. Fate not to be outdone. I think that was just slowly pushing into Fate while all this was happening, as here's the replay.
Yeah, the Smite comes through, you know, here for Krako second to survive, and the Krugs are not doing him any favor, Owner any favors, right? He's got a lot of that Krug aggro, so it takes a ton of damage. And the kills are traded here, of course, but I want to watch this flash that comes through from Fate over the wall, because eventually Faker does teleport over, as Kana's like, okay, I don't have any items yet. So I'm going to need your help. Does end up taking out the Gwen. And then, yeah, no, he should have been seen here, but Kana, unfortunately, just a little bit late, and they have a ward there over the wall, so he knows.
You're just going to have to deal with this. As we're taking a look at the Galio versus Ryze matchup specifically. Faker getting locked up here, and Fate has double buff. This is just a straight-up solo kill as Faker's just trying to clear out the wave.
And that's, I mean, about as good as it gets here, as we're going to watch Fate's first-person view on this.
Faker
gets the knock-up here, and he just gets the prism really easy. Cover mid, I got it, never mind, basically. He's like, I'm going for it. Oh, okay, we're good. He actually believed that Faker was baiting. As we watch this one more time, Kana hits 6 with a huge advantage that he has, but Krako blocks the culling damage, and they're able to make this a guaranteed kill. Fate doesn't have to use his teleport, so he can get straight back to lane. Is massive. Gumayusi does not rotate off, as we're going to see a collapse on the Kana.
This is a nice counter gank that does come in. Owner is getting in there, but now Krako's here as well. Kana a little bit too low.
Nice kick.
Here comes Faker, though. He is angry, and he's going to pick up the kill from range as Owner's still getting in there. He's going to pick up that
long con play here, because Owner is hiding, and once Summit sees Owner, he's like, oh no. And Faker commits the teleport because he's there under turret, but he knows he has that advantage. He cannot be matched, so he can even go under turret here and get the kill onto Summit, who knows he is so dead.
That was a really slick play, is what I'd like to call it. Throws out the winds and just immediately turns because he knows the Gwen is going to die. The dash is down. There's no escape. But the trap, look at this. I mean, there's 5 members of Live Sandbox on the top side of the map here, and they're trying to get on top of this one. Summit baits it in. That's a fantastic engage as the kick comes into Kana. But they can't kill him, but there's 2 flashes from the left of Live Sandbox, and look at that Fate's call value. Gets the double knockup. They will absolutely crush T1 in the top lane.
And it's not just a crushing of this, it's a denial of the Rift Herald. So you get those kills, you get all that gold. You're basically screaming to Live Sandbox, yo, we're going to make a play on top side. Watch out, because we've got a Rift Herald and we want that extra gold. And then the engage here is so perfect. Cask from Effort is amazing. Then you have the follow-up kick. Kana burns down. Yeah, you kill him. And then, okay, yeah, got a double taunt, but so what? Fate's call for the pullback, and everybody's knocked up under turret. 4 kills here for Live Sandbox. It doesn't get better than this. And that's all he can do, right? And he's been doing a great job of it. You know, sometimes it's not the flashiest thing. Well, he might not get away with it this time.
And there we go, waiting for the flash. There's the cast, but now T1 trying to go forward. That is a big kick to knock everybody up. And Kana on the backside with the culling, trying to do some damage, but Summit is able to just tank so much of that. And there's just not enough damage on the side of T1. Live Sandbox with nearly full health bars will now run to the Baron.
And that was one of T1's best opportunities to get back in the game. You have Gumayusi farming. You use just one chunk of damage away from being T1's gateway back into this game, as now Faker is caught alone.
Yeah, we got teleports coming in. We got effort from behind, looking for the cask, and he's going to hit him into the wall, but that's not enough to actually get the kill. Is because they're so far behind, it's basically just Varus. And that's not enough. They're too far behind to get close to the turrets. So, as you mentioned, there's not really much they can do to stop Ryze and Kalista from getting in range. And once you got that, I mean, they're going to get this one inhibitor. Prince is in a weird spot here, but we got the Realm Warp coming on over, and he's like, who's trapping here with who? I got my team with me. As Owner is just going to run straight into them in the fog. And I'm curious to see what T1 are going to try. This is going to be the second bush they've gone for, and this one might be good. We have GA, though, as now we're just trying to get on top of Krako. He's got stopwatch, and he has a kick, and now he's got his
Look at Fate's damage!
He's just got way too much at this point, and the double kill will go the way of Prince. This one is just done and dusted, guys. I don't know what to say. Look at Fate up on the top side. He's like, I might as well go into my Zhonya's, get a little bit of help. Maybe he will actually go down. Owner trying to turn this one around. Viego is kind of crazy at times, but not crazy enough. As Live Sandbox, they'll take the win in the fight, and they will take game number 1.
And this is after a dominant last few games for T1 that Live Sandbox is able to take a first game upset win here. The series is not over by any means, but it is a great start here for a team that once again gets a solid draft, takes an early advantage.
CS down even more, and even if the Galio is there to just support the pieces of the puzzle in this composition, then you have Fate who gets incredibly fed. And even though the damage numbers aren't insane, that's mostly because, you know, Kana and Gumayusi, they were just poking, but none of that damage really mattered because they were never able to get a fight on their terms.
Yeah. When you see a team that has really small damage numbers, but they win a one-sided game, extreme scaling, because the longer the game goes on, obviously, the more power Ziggs brings in. This is an argument we've been having in a discussion we've been having here in the LCK so much since he was buffed and has come back to power. And that's why you see the Azir ban coming through here. That's why you see the ban on the LeBlanc, because she gives you a lot of burst power later on in the game. And the Victor, even though he's a lot less meta nowadays, is a champion that Faker's very familiar with.
One on Ryze. This time he gets his hands on Lucian, which was overlooked from the side of T1. They wanted to take
I'll hold that thought because Owner is lurking.
Yeah. He got one other camp between when he last showed his face and now, as they're trying to clear this one, but the teleport is coming in from the base. It's Faker 4v2 into the bottom side. First blood is given over. Gumayusi tanks 2 turret shots, and he'll flash away from Fate as well.
Dark Seal in this game, so that's something that could even be an issue further.
It's one way to keep this snowball rolling.
Teleport comes through here from him. Just enough extra damage here as Gumayusi goes down very low. Has the presence of mind to know that it's very likely Lucian's coming, sees him on the ward, and backs off as this continues.
Okay, he's not gonna
Control mages during that time. You know, that's when Yukao was still playing. This is not where you want to be.
Yeah, the Braum is so important for trying to keep this alive. He's trying to turn it around, and Keria gets pretty low. Gumayusi trying to kite it out, and he's nearly got the damage.
Summit has teleport, but there's no ward. If Summit had a ward to teleport on behind them there's a huge opportunity, but he just simply doesn't have it.
Yeah.
Look at where he is on the map right now. He's like, I wanted to hide that I was porting in, but now he's just like, well, now I just have to go clear this wave. This is terrible.
Oh, here we go again. Prince, he's going to have to flash away, and he turns it around. He's the one that 1v2s. And now there's a Gwen on top of Gumayusi, but Owner's here. Kako has to be careful as the damage is coming out. Owner, that's going to be the pick onto Ziggs. This is on a knife's edge. Owner looking for the Q. He will not get it as Prince, with the reverse psychology, goes straight in the line and does not try to dodge.
High-level play we're watching right now between these two teams, and somebody is going to look for a trade here onto Kana.
Yeah, he's continuing going. That's a really nice extended trade here. It's going to push Kana out of the lane. As here we go again.
Okay, this might be a bit too far.
Oh, the minions at the Arcing Comet!
The Comet kill!
Hitting the minions, and maybe that's when you know he's going to be kiting.
Watch how this all goes down, because Prince is, like I said, about to hit 6, right? Flashes here, hits the perfect arrow, kills Keria, and then is able to hit 6 off this wave to survive long enough. Or he survives long enough here. With that, look at it, 6, Chains of Corruption, and he's like, I'm out of here.
Wants Ziggs.
And then the Q is just barely dodged, and Gumayusi
He just got the mana.
just had the mana.
Yeah.
So 5 left there, so we'll hit 105.
Faker's got more farm. It doesn't matter because Ziggs has the kill and the entire turret. Faker here running towards the blue. Really nice stun. He's trying to get onto the blast plant, but he will not be able to. Owner over the wall now. Keria has to try to run away as well. Effort's super low. He tanked a lot of that damage, and now they're looking to go for a dive here. This is a 5-on-3. Kana does not have teleport, and actually they decide not to go for it.
Yeah, he doesn't have teleport. He's just going to get a lot of extra pushing power done here on the bottom side of the map, though. Like, he's just free farming right now. You're going to get something. Chains connect.
Okay, looks like they might be able to get Keria here, but the Trundle pillar is so annoying. They can't get out. They can't get away from King Trundle. And look at Kroko over the wall. He is so trapped as well. This game is all but done. Gumayusi picks up yet another kill.
Sleeper OP pick, the Trundle, is for free. And unfortunately, because the Ziggs is so powerful, look at what happens when they try to punish Faker.
Yeah, he's dead.
Like, you're like, oh, maybe we can collapse up here, hide that we're going to collapse on Faker. Nope, no, you can't. And it's just so oppressive.
Good miss. And look at this. Keria's even getting in there, but that's a lot of damage coming out from Gwen and Lucian, but it's not quite enough. As Gumayusi, he's not even in trouble, even in the face of...
I mean, the snowball is well and truly rolling down the hills. You see this rotation of effort alone, but Prince was right behind him as they see Faker pushing up there, and they're like, okay, we know Owner is probably nearby. We can actually group and look for the spike because Kroko and Fade are top, but you're just so far behind.
Oh, what? Effort's not having a fun time in this game, and this game is... Yes, Live Sandbox got one. Okay, this is maybe a fair fight, but nope. Owner's in there, and the flash over the wall, and everything goes wide. Finally, Faker gets hit by something, but there are a lot of members of Live Sandbox over here. They're going to be able to get the 2 flashes away, but you want more than that. You want kills. You want ways back into the game.
Now,
and I mentioned it before, the one way to actually kill the Ziggs that's under the turret is to try to dive it. And you can see Effort is trying, but the rest of his team is not really on the same page with that idea. From this far behind, it's not really a thing you can do.
Oh, he's dead.
Prince is getting really frustrated, you can see. Trying to make a play happen, and he may have just baited his team into a fight.
Yeah, he lives, but I don't know if I can say the same about everybody else.
Yeah, they're going to get on top of Summit here, and everybody's just running away on Live Sandbox. They absolutely know that they cannot fight this one. And take a look at this, the Pillar and the Chaos Storm and the Gravity Field. You're not getting away from anything. Trundle support is broken.
All right, I want to see...
If you're not going to get level 2 first, I mean, you're just going to take way too much. As Keria, he's got Flash. He will be forced to use it here.
I mean, your first 10 is the Hail of Blades, right? And then you have to be like, okay, well, there's a chance they're in that bush. You have to respect the possibility. And then they lost their summoner spells early, and then it's Owner. And okay.
Nice little catch here. They're going to get the jungler of T1.
I cursed him.
And now Keria, he doesn't have his flash. He has to subjugate, and he also dies. And all of a sudden, you know, Live Sandbox, they're still 7,000 gold down, but, you know, a couple of picks here and there. They're looking for Kana now, who got way in there. Faker's really angry. Nice satchel back from the side of Gumayusi, and that's actually what's going to be the kicker that pushes them away.
Now, it is 2 kills going over to Live Sandbox, and they are able to get a little bit of gold back here. But don't be fooled. This is one small mistake from T1, and, you know, a little bit of room for Live Sandbox, but the only objective up right now is Baron, and Live Sandbox are not in a place where their composition could do enough damage to actually take the Baron. So small overextension here from Owner gets punished. Then Keria, as you mentioned, flashless, is going to get taken out here by the culling. And you can see how Live Sandbox's comp can pick targets who are way overextended without summoner spells. But make no mistake, this is not a sign of better things to come just yet, because their composition does not have the power to 5v5. This is them catching 2 overextended members. Away. Okay, Faker's caught.
They're looking for Faker, but the damage comes out, and Prince is like, where's my follow-up, guys? Where is my follow-up? As they do get Faker, but immediately Prince is just going to get bombed from screens away. Now they're just trying to kite this one out once again. Summit is able to just stun them away as the Pillar, quite annoying. Looking to actually turn it there a little bit as Owner and the rest of the squad not quite able to follow up. Of T1.
Not to mention, I mean, like, the amount of damage that Gumayusi can put off with this cooldown on his ultimate is, yes, Faker does die here, but the trade is not worth it. Unfortunately, like, when you're behind like this, you're like, oh, well, I'm just not able to trade, but you were hoping that maybe, just maybe, you get away with it. And unfortunately, Prince is the only one who can make that happen. But
that's not going to happen, man. I have got bad news.
Yeah, meanwhile, Kana was below him. Not sure if he knew that. Oh, yeah, so about your health bars. See you later, health bars. And look at this. This is what you were talking about. The chip damage into the Heartbreaker is just like, yeah, good luck. If you're behind, you're not getting away. And that is just the end of it. As T1 are pushing down the mid lane, they're looking to potentially get us into this game 3 as Krako's just skipping through the mid lane, trying to catch the waves and deny this push. As the minions, you see there's not too many of them. They're able to get one of the Nexus turrets, and they'll just back away, take the inhibitor, and look to turn onto this mid wave that is coming in. As now they're able to catch bait. He just ran straight into the mist, and down he will go. As the rest of T1 will push in, and there is no hope here for Live Sandbox as Kana is just cleaning up, just waiting for those minions to push on in.
Coming in, and that is going to be us going through to a very quick third game. 2 extremely one-sided ones. This one, way more than the first, but we had 2 one-sided ones back-to-back. Draft difference, I think a lot of people will say after this game, the Ziggs going through, but it's the execution of this bot duo that leads to such a massive advantage. This is the kind of series that you might get against even T1, in fact. That could be one of their opponents in the playoffs on what could be one of their miracle runs that we might see, right? Again, this is a team that we're hyping up right now because they are looking up and up. It does look very... survive through, some of the early skirmishes that T1 can look for, but it's not amazing until Diana gets her items online, right? Unless Viego pops off early. It's a really great comp. Now, T1 will take a comp like this that looks like, okay, it might take a little bit of time to get the ball rolling.
Pick straight up, and it is going to be quite nice alongside of the fantastic gank assist in both the mid and the top lane.
On his Galio. Here comes that early level 3 gank. He gets the leash, he gets 3, he's going for it.
There it is, the flash on in with the root, and Faker is just gone. He doesn't even flash, he knows he's dead. The early gank comes in. It is waiting in the brush here. Carrier's gonna spot them both, but the engage still happens, and a dive in the mid lane comes through as they get the rise. So we'll have to see how that one comes through as well. Faker didn't even flash. It was all Owner who flashes in, and I guess Fate being low led to the kill.
This is Owner's thing, right? This is what I'm talking about. A lot of this game is going to hinge on him getting super fed early, and not every Diana can, but he does. That was a great flash from Gumayushi. Extremely quick reaction time on that one.
Yeah, but he didn't have to move forward to greedily get the CS either.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know if we need to be pulling away right here, but we will. So we're going to go all the way back to Krako's gank timing here as the flash you mentioned gives him the root. And then he body blocks him, gets the knock up, gets the kill. First blood goes over to him. And then the same happens here to Fate. You mentioned he's low health. He does not have the flash, and Owner comes back to pay him a visit. They give the kill over to Faker, and that's that. Very low amount of games compared to what you'd expect, but like you said, the win rate is extremely high. Okay, well, we're going to see a blast plant taken here. They want to commit.
This is a great idea. I love this proactivity with this comp. They're getting in there. They're going to deny any hopes of getting out of this one. The teleport is coming through, though, and this Viego's really scary, actually. But with the Croc also down here, I'm not sure what more he can do. He's actually going to try to flash the wall, and he may actually get away.
Dodges
flash from Prince, and now he's alive. Carrier's getting in here, and Fate was left all alone as Summit tries to trade it back, but that's a disaster. He's not going to get the kill. Kana survives somehow.
Faker is pushing effort down, too.
Yeah,
this is a disaster for Sandbox.
Effort's done, and you can see that Owner does eventually go down underneath the turret at the same time, and now Faker low on mana. The Dominus still up here for just a moment.
No flash here for Summit.
Faker autos the dragon.
That's a mistake. I think that was probably a misclick, unfortunately. It ends up catching him there. Okay, we're going to finally go back through this and watch this again.
This was a doozy
it's
of
definitely
a dive.
Like a really nice timing to come through here, and the Realm Warp is available, so you have super powerful follow-up, but when the teleport comes through here from Kana, that's when things get kind of nasty, right? You did enough damage back, he gets up getting the first reset, does a ton of damage on his way out here,
And unfortunately, there's a bit of a disconnect between Liv Sandbox here. Half of them want to chase Keria, and half of them want to chase down Kana. And that ends up being a kill. Then Summit can't kill Keria, and it's like right here at this moment, everything feels like it's really just gone to hell for Liv Sandbox. But they're still able to force this back, get the kill on Owner. And meanwhile, Live!
Oh boy, Faker's just dead. This is right over the wall. We missed how it started, but you can imagine, you know, control ward in the enemy jungle, right over the top, Hex Splash perhaps, or maybe even just the real one.
Local goal. Okay, this is what we wanted to come back and see here.
Okay.
This is before this. This is Faker actually autoing the Drake, which is the last part of the replay we didn't see. So he barely doesn't kill Effort here. Oh no, he does kill him actually. I didn't realize Effort died there. And then autoing the Drake is like, I wanted to see Faker's first-person view on this actually, because Summit has his stun. I don't know if he had his dash there, other way he dies. Now this is the Hex Splash over the wall after the root.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Live, like, we don't have time for replays in this game.
Cut the replay. Well, here we are as they flash on in, and that is Summit thinking he can survive with Krako nearby, but absolutely he cannot. The burst comes in. And yeah, one of the things about having a really fed Varus is that you're extremely squishy. So if you're out of position and you just get killed, that might just be the end of it, and you give over a big shutdown to the enemy team. So Prince has to be extremely careful. I like that he just flashes away right away.
You've got a target on your back, so you have to be aware. And now he doesn't have flash for this fight. And T1 in prime position to take this Herald.
Saw Kana's positioning. He's getting ready to just get in there. But T1 decide, no, we'll just take the Rift Herald and back away. Dominus pops here. As the Culling gets actually a really nice amount of damage. Stun comes through, but now Keria is isolated in the front. And now they're just going to turn it, and look at the massive move ball that comes in from Owner. He sets up the kill. Thankfully, they've got an Alistar and a Xin Zhao to try to just push them away.
What did I say?
It could have been more.
You know what? I guess we're going to just waste the teleport not do it. So you can see that teleport on the control ward right there. And then Keria gets caught, right? And this is the moment where you're like, okay, we have a really nice fight set up here. The Chains of Corruption are good. But guess what? Owner says, no, I've actually got the ability to charge through, blow up Summit, and then use a Moonfall. It ends up being an excellent fight here for T1. And it's unfortunate for Liv Sandbox. They really need to force the issue after losing the Rift Herald. You just cut your losses and walk away, even if you lose a turret. And even though it looked good with the catch on to Keria, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. When you have this much engaged, you know, when you can turn on a dime. So they're just going to drop this Rift Herald down right now.
Yeah, and take a look at what Liv Sandbox are doing here. They're not necessarily grouping up to stop this push, but I think they got to get back for the inner turret, you would imagine. Prince kind of left out here to dry. The bottom, not much of a response here because Liv Sandbox, you know, of course, with the delay on the recalls. You see the damage does come through. Summit is here now on the front line. As the stun comes in and he is locked down, and the Dominus will not save you now. As the damage is coming out from Fate, the front to back here is big as the Xin Zhao and the Alistar lead the charge now. They're only able to get one, though, as the flash comes through.
No flashes down, or all flashes down here for T1 now. They've got to get out of here ASAP. If anybody gets caught, they are not getting away, so they have to leave immediately. Ends up being a trade here, but the turret taking a ton of damage. I actually didn't see if it went down at the end of the day. I don't believe so, actually. They blow up Summit here, but look at all the damage traded back here. Kana goes extremely low. Keria dies, and the fight is over at this moment in time. Like, you cannot get out. Faker just barely
Prince
is able to escape.
He wasn't even there, like, following up.
Then we have a good opportunity to front-to-back team fight later on, especially in reactionary fights like the one we just saw there. You have a lot of power. So that's exactly what we're seeing here from Fate. He's just being given all of this side lane gold. He has teleport, too.
We're going to find the Kaisa, and he is just able to get away, actually. The flash comes through, and Prince tries to get in there, but now he's in the front line, and immediately he gets blown to smithereens as Fate is going to go for the stopwatch here. You see Faker goes down, but Fate is a huge amount of the damage, and the Viego is still huge on the front line of this fight. Look at Kana. The knockup comes in, but Xin Zhao just doesn't have enough damage, I don't think. He's trying to get in there. But at the end of the day, it's Viego who's able to do much more, as the 3-on-2 will, of course, go in favor of T1, as now they'll get the Baron.
When the fight gets scrappy, like you said, it's the playground of Kana and Gumayusi a lot of the time in these cases. And unfortunately for Liv Sandbox, even though it looked like a beautiful start to this team fight, Fate teleporting in means he has no mobility, has no options, has to stopwatch immediately. So in that longer exchange, once the burst is done, is effort. I don't know if you're going to get anything out of this. They're going to get a teleport.
The Alistar steal? The Alistar steal? He got it! He got it! Oh, man! How did he do that?
Unbelievable! way to put yourself back in this game is we're going to go all the way back to this, right? So this is where it looks like, okay, we've had the really nice engage. Gumiusi is not dead, but he's out of the fight. So you feel like you're very comfortable to teleport Fate in now and look for the fight. And then once again, you clump up and Owner makes the play. And in this crazy skirmish, even with Faker going down, Gumiusi is able to do a ton of damage. And Viego in these scenarios loves the chaos. He's going to get so much healing out of this. He's just got so much sustain. He's very fed in this game.
Yeah.
And Kana's like, thank you very much, Owner, for giving me the opportunity to carry this. This is one of those games where like Kana gets if Kana gets a POG, we're gonna watch.
Okay, 한번 믿어줘.
Okay, watch this. He's a trust me.
야, 나이스! 야, 집 빼. 야.
He said he
Oh,
really
nice,
said, guys,
얘들아,
just
이거-
trust me. And he,
As efforts looking to come around the left bend, we saw Diana, Owner, and Kana looking to come around the top right bend. The Sandbox don't really have the vision, but Summit just saw that, and now he's going to spot Kana.
He has no plant to blast with here. That's pretty
True.
massive. He's
Oh, they're trying to engage while Kana's out of this. Well, at least one of them is. Croc goes in there.
okay, this is really disjointed for Liv Sandbox.
Yeah, now the culling comes out. You see Liv Sandbox a little bit stretched apart at this point in time as here comes Owner. He's only able to get the Renekton, though, and immediately he dies. That's not the engage you're looking for.
Finally, they deal with him. Finally, the Diana is not the win condition anymore in this fight. And you can't fight this anymore, T1. It's not a scrappy fight. It's not a fight where Kana could just absolutely carry. That's going to be the Drake going over. That's Ocean Soul to Liv Sandbox. A massive advantage for them now. And they handled it so well. Fate was ready to catch the incoming Diana. They blow her up. And that's all it takes. Now you're going to get a Baron for real this time.
Take a look at Kana in the mid lane. He's being pretty sneaky with how fast he's pushing this because the obvious play for the Sandbox is you go straight for the Baron. But now he's just going to push it and go in. As you can see, there's still 4 members of T1. They try to make a play here, but the Alistair is just zoning them all away.
I mean, with the Ocean Soul, you get all your health back from that last fight. I think, they're looking for it.
Nope, just the red buff.
Oh, okay, I thought they actually went over
Yeah.
the Frogs. I was like, you're crazy.
That was scary.
As T1, you're in a position where this Baron is not game losing for you, and it is Cloud Soul.
Watch how fast Owner dies.
Yeah, like, it's just that simple. This is actually very fortunate for Liv Sandbox because the fight is extremely disjointed. Kana's positioning is fantastic. He can threaten both Prince and Fate. If this engage goes extremely well and Owner does not die, then it's perfect. But he's instantly stunned. Follow-up is massive. Everybody hits him at once.
Oh, man.
And if that goes better, then Kana gets in on top of these carries, and it looks totally different. But
Yeah.
they handled it so well. They've been burned by him like 3 times this game, but
Yeah.
not the 4th.
I mean, we talked about how the responsibility of the Diana and the Leona to make the engage happen, it is so high. The Solar Flare misses, and then that engage comes from Owner. You can't do anything after that.
No.
You've lost everything. The culling is down. You know, you're not just going to run in at them, or you're just going to lose the fight. So, unfortunately, that one just comes down to execution. And as you said, Liv Sandbox, they were so patient. They played it perfectly. Fate just leaves.
He's like, I don't want to delay this minion
People
push.
leave. Yep.
But, I mean, they're just going to sit here and siege up this turret. They've got great wave clear, but they don't want to overextend because the engage potential is still so good for T1. You know, the same reasons why it's been very difficult for them to actually 5v5 properly. Still holds true. Get an inhibitor, walk away, rinse and repeat here. And as T1, this game is still winnable, but you're running out of options here. If anybody dies, you can lose the game right away, so you really have to play this slow, and you're probably going to lose inhibitors. There's just not much you can do about it. Just going to try to hope that your inhibitor in this turret wears out the Baron buff so you can hope for another objective play on the Elder. Okay, they're going for it.
Here
I'm
we
wrong.
go. You got to go for the engage if you're T1, but the sit down, there's another huge moonfall, and the damage comes out. But down will go Leona, but they get the Varus, but you can see there's no real follow-up. Gumiusi's on the backside, and he's all alone, and down he will go. Faker not able to enter the fight, zoned away by the Xinjiao. And that is going to do it. Liv Sandbox will push in for yet another huge 2-1 victory.
T1 not going to wait the 45 seconds Baron out, not going to look for the fight on the turrets. They wanted the perfect engage. They were set up for it. It was a great moonfall, but it's not enough at the end of the day. And Liv Sandbox will do it twice this week. Back-to-back 2-1s over Gen G and T1, putting themselves massively ahead of Africa in that race to playoffs. Young players here, some experienced, some newer, right? But
one thing all these players have in common is they know that the sky is the limit. Nobody.
승리
Thank you
축하드립니다.
very much, guys. This is season
감사합니다.
with the POG interview translation, and we're here joined by Fate and Effort, taking a victory over T1. How was today's match, Fate?
T1
was so good. So it was so difficult, you know? Yeah, I got exhausted by playing the series, but at the end, the Effort was able to make some outplays and get so much profit, so we were able to get this comeback victory. Speaking of the comeback victory Effort, I'm pretty sure you're still feeling, you know, the excitement of the still, right? Yeah, it was so difficult. You know, this T1 series wasn't that easy, but I'm happy that we're able to lock in another win. Fate, we were talking about the Rise priority in this matchup. This is the most picked champion for both you and Faker, so you guys were able to take it away quick in game number 1, and you guys removed it in game 2. So tell us about the Rise priority. This champion, once you can play this well, this is just so OP. And Faker, even in the very last series, he was doing a fantastic job on this champion. I also think this is my comfort pick. So yeah, we were having all eyes on this champion. So T1 decided to play Galio into Rise. It is actually one of the meta pick in other regions. So what did you think of this Galio mid coming out in game 1? Galio is a champion that cannot really set up by himself. He needs to cooperate with junglers or supports. And you know, we also had a lot of communication within junglers and support in order to match their rotations and play. An Effort in game 2, we had Trundle support picked for the first time after about 1800 days. Last time it was picked was actually by Gorilla. So how was Halo Blade's Trundle? This is actually, you know, becoming a thing these days. But we weren't really too, you know, ready to deal with it yet. So we got a little bit flustered. So we, you know, made some blunders in the early game. As a player who has 15-4, you know, record on Trundle, do you think Trundle is viable in the current meta? Yes, in this. I think this is a really good meta pick. Ziggs was able to dominate game number 2. So you guys decided to play on the red side for game 3 and bend that Ziggs card. We thought that, you know, we had some discussion about our draft with the coaching staff, and so we were able to find one conclusion. And in game number 2, I think Ziggs had sole control of the game. It was so tricky to play against, so we decided to just remove that. And T1 first picked Viego on the blue side for 3 games in a row. Weren't you guys afraid of the Viego pick? Viego is, of course, a really good pick. We also really like it. But we had a lot of options to play against Viego. And we just cannot skip this question. The Baron still from Alistar. So let's take a look at the preview of that play.
나갈 만도 하겠다 이거. 위치 좀 볼게. 야, 내가 보다가 너무 무모할 것 같으면 용 가자. 치고.
So first Effort was actually calling for a Drake for a trade, but he was like, actually I can steal it. So T1 also didn't have their jungler, so I thought it was pretty much, you know, doable.
나이스.
You said, trust me, just for one time. Why did you say that? So we were trying to make a rotation to the Dragon. So if I die there, you know, the rest of the players wouldn't be able to contest for the Drake as well. But, you know, I knew that I was going to die there, but still, I just wanted to go in for that play. Throw a shot. I'm the one who told me to not go in there. Told him to don't go in there. Then what did you say after he stole the Baron? To be honest, I mean, rationally, you know, thinking of the upcoming plays, you shouldn't really go for that, but Effort somehow made it, so I was so surprised. I was surprised until the end of the game. He did a great job. I mean, at the end of the game, Effort, you are praising yourself alone. What did the rest of the teammates say? I mean, they all, you know, praised, but, you know, that was not the end of the game. We were just about to, you know, break the nexus, so, yeah, we just wanted to concentrate until the game was really over, and after that, they were like, you did a great job, Effort. You will face off Nongshim Red first in your next series, the current first place team. And Fate, you will be facing off Gory, the PUG leader, with 900 POC points. I don't really mind about the PUG points. I hope we can just still stick to our own, you know, play style. I think if we can do that, Nongshim is also a winnable opponent. Effort, you are tied second place on the PUG standings as well. Nongshim, they are also building a huge momentum, so I hope we can push this momentum forward and make sure to pick up another PUG in that series. This will be the end of the interview from the Leaf Sandbox players. I'm going to pass it back to our casters. Thank you.